Hello, I'm Nicola. This is Stitches and Slapdashery, and welcome back to my sewing room. I'm so excited that I got so many likes and subscribes from my first episode, and I'm really looking forward to sharing a bunch of my mix that I did this week with you today. Got lots to show you. We're going to take a little bit of a trip down memory lane and show you some things I made before this week, and then some new things that I made as well. So let's start with Mabel here, who is gracefully showing off the linen shirt I made. It's just a really basic linen top. I had 1 meter of a linen remnant, 100% linen. Never owned a linen garment before. And I keep looking at the fabrics at the store where I work and thinking, I really need to make myself a whole bunch of clothes out of linen because it's cool and comfortable and gets softer with wear, so I'm told, and I think it would be a really good wardrobe staple. So the pattern I used was Butterick 3383, and I made just the basic short sleeve top, no breast pocket, and it was really easy. I did find that linen was a little slithery to hem, but on the whole, I'm really happy with it, and I hope that because it's white, I don't ruin it the first time I wear it, because I can be a messy cook or a messy eater, which is why I always wear an apron. So yeah, I was really pleased with that. So today I'm wearing one of my me-made tops. It's just a really, really basic t-shirt. So that's made from, lost the pattern. Here we go. So that's made from this pattern, the B5432. So this is how I'm storing my used patterns now. Sometimes it's just too much hassle to try and fold them back into the pattern envelope. So rather than trying to squeeze them back in, I've taken to storing a lot of my patterns in a Ziploc bag, and it works great. So I've made this in another fabric, which is really fun, and I'll show you this one. So this is a really fun fabric. New York City is what it makes me think of, which is not somewhere I ever hope to visit, but I just couldn't resist making a t-shirt out of it. So let me just show you the knitwear and crochet first, before we get into more sewing. The green sweater I showed you last time is the Sporto sweater from Knitty.com, and this is the first one I made of the Sporto. It's just a basic hooded sweater. It's got an optional kangaroo pocket. I didn't put it on this one. I wish I had, in a way, because sometimes when you're making a sweater, you just want to put your hands in your pockets. You like, there's no pocket there. I think I should have put one on. Anyway, I extended the sleeves. I originally made the sleeves too short, so I put more ribbing on and put a thumb hole in there as well, because cozier. And this is starting to look a bit pilly because I have worn it a lot since I made it. It was really cheap to make. I think the yarn was only like $3 a ball, so it only took maybe 5 or 6. So that's why I wanted to make another one. So this one here, well, you will have seen that last time. I did unravel the pink and the yellow, and I've added a couple of rows onto this, or rounds, but I still have about 11 inches of stockinette to do on that, so you can't tell that there's been a lot of progress. So let's leave that aside for now. And then the granny square blankie, it's going to be an exceedingly small granny square blankie, because I'm just using this one 200-gram cake of Järbo Cookie. I have this rather messy bundle left. I didn't put it in one of my cake savers. I actually made a long time ago some round little bucket shaped things out of crochet for holding cakes, so that as I pulled from the middle, they wouldn't get super messy. Didn't do that this time. So this is looking beautiful because this yarn is just awesome. And it's got to about 24 inches, 60 centimeters square. And I think that's probably almost as big as it's going to get. I think rather than risk playing yarn chicken with what's left in my cake, I will probably add a border round and call it done. It's pretty small, but you know, new babies are tiny and it's destined for a new baby. So that is almost done. Should be done by next time. All right, so trip down memory lane. Sometimes what I like to do is I like to lay existing garments, commercial ones usually, onto paper and trace around them and then make a garment from that. Because sometimes you have a top that you really like and you want to have more just like it. So that's what happened with this one. So this grey sweater, it's quite a thin sweater. It has a really neat ruching detail on the front there. Has quite a wide neckline, which is not the greatest, but I really like this. So what I did with this is I traced the shape onto paper and I made myself a new version, which is even better than the original, if I say so myself. So look at this fabric, isn't that gorgeous? So long sleeves, ruching detail, neck. Now what's nice about this is it's a double knit fabric. So it has stripes on the back and tie-dye on the front. So I used the tie-dye side to show when I bound the neckline. So the construction of this is completely different from the original grey sweater. I made this into a dolman sleeve, so I made the armholes bigger. And the ruching on this one is made not by putting a seam down the front, but just by sewing a channel. See if I can show you this. I sewed a channel onto the back on the inside, and then I just put some of the fabric through that channel so that I can cinch it up when I'm wearing it. And I was absolutely delighted with how that one turned out. So there it is. I also have another colorway in this fabric, and that is this green and blue one, which is also awesome. So what I did with this one is I took the same dolman sleeved shape and a similar bound neckline and everything as the red one. However, I extended the hemline. I extended the hemline down and out. So on paper, the hemline just looks like it's straight across, but when I'm wearing it, it hangs lower at the sides. And I really like that shape. I really should stop wearing my favourite tops to work though, because when you're leaning up against a cutting table for any length of time and you've got jeans on with a button or belt, it can make holes in your best tops, and I've lost a lot of tops that way before. So I have to be careful about not wearing my favourite things at work too often, because they will wear out fast, which is sad. So a slightly longer term project was this set of bags. These ones were made for a friend. I don't normally take commissions, but I was asked to make these, 25 of them, for her to use as gift bags for a group of friends. And I did agree. I gave her a quote, she was happy with it, and I gave her some pictures of fabric, and she chose this maple leaf one and this animal one. both very strongly Canadian themed, as you can tell. And the ribbon that we happened to have at the store was also perfect, because black and white check, black and red check. So these drawstring bags are pretty basic. They're not lined. They just have one string to close them, because I underestimated how much ribbon I was going to need, and I didn't have enough to go both ways with the ribbons. I just zigzagged the insides, I neatened all the edges, and I just did a double hem at the top. So this is the size she asked for, American letter size, and I will be delivering those to her next week, so hopefully she will be happy with those. Now, a pattern that I really like, and I've made a couple of things from now, is this one. It's Burda 6990. Getting rid of a glare off the light. So I made view A twice out of some really bright, fun fabric from work. And these are tops that I wear to work a lot. So this one, the fabric has like a two-part look to it. It's got pink and big flowers on the top part and black with daisies on the bottom part. So when I made it, I just made sure to put the pattern pieces in the right place on the sleeves and the back and the front, so that it all came together beautifully. I did attempt to do the twin needle stitching on the hems, but it's definitely not perfect. Slapdash, you might say. However, I wear them anyway. Just have to hope that nobody who cares is looking too closely when I'm wearing them. So I made that guy, and this is the other one I made from the same pattern, same view A, size large. Woo! Can you tell I like bright colours? So those came out really well. As far as the fit was concerned, I just shortened it to make a 3/4 length sleeve. Everything about that came out brilliantly. So when I wanted to make a swim top out of a solid turquoise UV swim fabric, I thought I'll use the same pattern again. But what I thought I would try is making view B. Now, view B, on here, it seems like it has just a wider neckline. It looks pretty much the same, just comes out wider here. And I thought, oh, that'd be great. I don't need it to be really up close to my neck for a swim top. But when I put everything together and tried it on, it came up so high that it felt like it was choking me right here, and then also at the back of the neck. It was just too high. So I ended up trimming 1/2 inch off all the way around the neckline. The bottom hem worked out great. The sleeve hems worked out great. The facing on the neckline is messy and doesn't look finished, but it is. So yeah, I ended up using a piece of the same fabric to bind the neck, and I didn't want to trim it too close. So it looks a bit unfinished, but what I've done is caught it down at the seam lines. What I did notice after I had sewn this together was there was rather a disappointing bit of yellow staining right down here at the bottom. And it was on the right side, so of course when it's on the bolt at the store you can't see it because it's folded with the right sides in. When someone's cutting it for you, they can't see it. And when you're just laying it out and cutting out at home, you don't see it until it's too late. I probably had enough fabric, I could have cut out a new piece, but by that time the side seams were sewn and the shoulder seams were done, and I thought I'll just leave it. The idea is just to have it in case I ever need to be protected from the sun and out in our hot summers here. And, you know, I might get an invitation to spend a day on someone's boat on the lake. Any offers? So this top is wearable. It's just not perfect, but we've talked about that before. So to go with that, I wanted some swim shorts. So with this pattern here, again, 5432, it's got so many things in it. It's fantastic. I did a trial run of the shorts. I had this remnant in the stash from way back. I can't remember how long I've had that. So for some reason, I made the XL to test the fit. I should have just made the L because these are massive. They'll make great pajama shorts though. When it's hot in the house, because we don't have air conditioning. So when it's boiling hot in the house, it'll be nice to have shorts to wear. So these came out great, just huge. So then I went and made the swim short one. So this fabric is a non-stretch fabric. That turquoise top was a knit, a solid knit. This is what you would expect to find in a board short. Guys' board shorts, anyone's board shorts. So it's a UV protective fabric, and it's fun, and it goes perfectly with the turquoise knit fabric. And I used a chlorine resistant elastic in it. I don't swim in pools anymore. I do sometimes swim in the lake, but the chlorine elastic is soft and it works, so I used it anyway. So they came out great. No complaints about those. The elastic did twist up a bit inside, but you know me, I left it. So there's those. And then because if I'm wearing a swim top, I need something to support me underneath the swim top. Because I don't want to wear my one-piece swimsuit underneath. So I already have some bikini bottoms that I can wear underneath the shorts, but I didn't have a bikini top that would work. So I found this pattern. It's called the Dallas Top by Edgewater Avenue, and she makes so many swimsuits. She has a whole YouTube channel full of swimsuits and bikinis, all shapes and sizes. There's something there for everybody. So I made this. This was definitely a bit of a experiment. I didn't have proper rubber swimwear elastic, but I did have some more of the chlorine resistant elastic in a narrower width in the stash. So this is the solid knit fabric that I used for the top. And I put the elastic in the sides of the cups, as she said, but I did not put it in the straps. Turning the straps was a little interesting with the tube turners I have. I don't have the same kind of loop turner that she has. And so, especially for that longer string, it was getting a little bunchy there. However, I made it. I'm really happy with it. I haven't actually put it on to make sure it fits properly. I think it'll be fine. I should probably test it out, shouldn't I? But not here. You won't be seeing me modeling it on the vlog. I will save you your eyes, otherwise you might need eye bleach. So I'm celebrating an anniversary this week. It's 1 year since I got my braces on, and that's exciting because I've been wanting braces since I was a teenager. My sister got braces when we were teenagers, and I was always envious of her. And maybe it's not such a big deal in Britain, where a whole bunch of people seem to have crooked teeth. I call them British teeth for a reason. But when you come to North America, you meet a lot more people who have had braces as a matter of course. Whether they needed them or not, they all seem to get braces. When they're teenagers, they all have perfect smiles. And I felt even more self-conscious than ever about my teeth, which were pretty crooked. They were crossed. There was a couple crossed at the top front, and they were really crowded in there. So I got a bit of money from my mum last year, and I thought, now's the time, go and have a consultation. So he gave me a quote, and right there and then I said, gonna do it, let's do it. And I walked out of there with the top ones on already. So I think that surprised a few people because they just thought I was going for a quote. So I got it done, and then 3 months later I got the bottom ones done. So I'm having a bit of fun with it in that I always have the coloured elastics, and I try and coordinate them to the hair sometimes. Like when I've had purple hair, I've had purple elastics, and right now they're turquoise elastics because that's my favourite colour, and that goes with my hair and a lot of my clothes as well. So they just put the custom wires on last time, and they said that that's pretty much the beginning of the end. So they think I might be done by Christmas. That'd be 1.5 years. So I'm really, really hoping that that is the case. It'll be a little bit scary, but very wonderful to have these braces off. They are mostly not too much of a hassle. Sometimes when they change the wires out, it can get a little bit painful in there. But they're mostly bearable, and I just have to be careful not to eat anything too crunchy or too chewy so that I don't damage anything. And it'll be so wonderful when they come off again. So thank you for watching. Thanks for coming back. If you watched episode 1 and you're back for episode 2, thanks if you're new. I'm really enjoying sharing my sewing with you and my knitting and my crochet. It's really, really been an important stress relief for me this week. I've really needed it. And having this creative outlet to focus my mind on my days off, has really helped take my mind off work. So I look forward to seeing you again next time. Have a wonderful week, and thanks again. Bye.